Sonic, the heart of your system.
We're with FSP, the power supply people, at Computex 2019 here at Nangang. The Dagger Pro logo behind me, we're going to come to that in a bit, but we're starting with some modded systems. Moving past Hydro G Pro, which is a power supply with a conformal coating to keep water out of places where it shouldn't go. Water and power supplies, after all, do not generally mix well. We move past Hydro G to this modded system here, which is obviously powered by a Hydro G power supply, common sense. And I'm looking here at this side panel, which is an LCD with the FSP logo, and I just love that effect. We've seen it a few times for different mods, seen it about the past 5 years. Difficult to do right, that works very nicely indeed. And then we come around to a system that's essentially a garden on top of a PC. It's from China. It's a PC down below, it's a garden up above. The two things are totally disconnected. It's essentially model work. Mel loves this. So this, absolutely fine. Down below, we've got a modded system laid out, and it's powered around here, Mel, by the new Dagger Pro SFX power supply. Tiddly little power supply in a fairly large system, but that's because the actual PC part has been spread out. But up above, so down below RGB, up above Zen. And then we have a system from the Philippines. Lots of pink and sun going on. Now, the less pretty side is the side that has the Dagger Pro power supply in. Obviously, this is FSP's booth, therefore the power supply matters. It says do not touch, but I'm going to move it. So Mel can come round and have a look in and experience the pink and whiteness. It's a cutesy system. It's actually surprisingly heavy moving it there. There's an awful lot of extra materials been added to that chassis. Very pretty, and again, powered by Dagger Pro. Now this scratch build is just absolutely remarkable. It's called Best Pork Ramen Store. It's just amazing. We can see we have some cooling components here. Round here, where my finger is, we can see the motherboard just about. And then going around the back, I'm saying the back, but I really mean the side, we have the power supply itself. But that's just hysterically funny. Now I think about it, I would like more moving parts in there. I'd like to see those pigs moving. But that's just great. A Japanese system I just kind of don't get. It's made from recycled material, hence you've got some copper tubing, you've got a piece of wood, you've got stuff nailed together. It's obviously going for a casual aesthetic. I'm sure it's not casual, I'm sure it's been very carefully planned, but it's got the haphazard look about it, and to my eye it succeeds nicely. So those cables have been very carefully modded to look haphazard. How Japanese is that? Moving around the power supplies, Hydro GS Pro continues to confuse me because it does not involve water in any way, shape or form. Dagger Pro, which is the new SFX power supply, is essentially the fixed version of Dagger. When we reviewed that, the charts were not good. Now we are promised this has become really properly good. Dagger looked really good, but didn't do well in testing. Dagger Pro, we have great hopes for that. Twins is interesting. This is an industrial unit. If you come around here, Mel, we saw this a year or two ago now, but it's basically dual power supplies for redundancy. So it's 900 watts in total now, which means dual 450 watt. If one unit fails, the other one takes up the pace. So it's for the likes of doctors and dentists and such, like gold rated, but it's fitting in a regular ATX chassis. That's impressive going. Those power supplies are quite tiny, but they're not as tiny as this, which is the Flex Guru 250W. So it's flex mounting on those screws there, and then you connect there, and you have your bundle of cables, which gives you everything you need for a PC. It does not give you PCI Express for graphics. There is a 500 watt unit of this with another couple of connectors which does power graphics. Tragically, that is in some meeting somewhere. But we are told the Flex Guru 500 is exactly the same physical size, apart from these extra connectors, as the 250. And that sounds blooming impressive. I mean, I often wonder why we don't see more SFX in systems, but why isn't it Flex? The Big Finish is a chassis I did not expect to see from FSP. It's got a lousy name because it's just a model code. The model code is FSP CMT 710. It needs a name. I don't know what it would be. But when I first saw this, I immediately thought of the Antec Torque, which is like a sort of motorcycle chassis, except this is two of the same because this is a dual system design. So just as Antec's called theirs Torque, this needs something, I don't know what the name would be. It has to have a name, this chassis. Pricing is completely unknown. It's going to be around about 500, I'm guessing. And you can see the deal here. So you have a full-size system in this side. We've got a mount down there for an SFX power supply because that power supply will power the system on the other side, and the ATX power supply on the other side powers this system. It's a little bit weird, that is, but nonetheless, it's a dual system chassis because it's essentially two chassis sandwiched together. Obviously laser cut aluminium, some anodizing in gold or bronze, and then there we've got silver anodizing, tempered glass, exactly what you expect to see. It's essentially engineered parts. I don't know whether they made it themselves or went to a chassis manufacturer, actually. I should have asked that. Nonetheless, when you move to the middle position and you look at the front I/O, you've got this chamber between the two systems. That is used for cable management and also for RGB, which is just lovely. But it means your cables hide out of sight. So as we move around to the small side, and we see we have the ATX power supply. Above that we've got a couple of hard drives which could be relocated to the other mounts, and we've got a full hard tubing system going on in there. Loads of space, very neat and tidy, and nothing like I would expect to see from FSP. We've had a conversation, we've agreed to disagree. I love this system, Mel loves the Chinese garden. What can I say? Different strokes for different folks. That CMT 710 chassis, I did not expect to see anything like that from FSP. Blown away by that. I want to know the UK price. If it's less than 500, we're happy. If it's more than 500, not so happy. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the bell button, return to Kit Guru for more videos. We're just about done with Computex, but there's still some more to come. I'm Leo Waldock, this is FSP.